HC Brown and Jalen Hurts silenced the locker room drama issues yesterday and put the sights back on the Steelers, whose head coach admittedly is terrified of the Eagles' plans on Sunday. Plus, hear why a certain safety's return could further boost the Birds' defense and a rumored upgrade to the link that may have just gotten approved. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. Honestly, the biggest news that happened in Philly yesterday was not inside the locker room. It actually came from Adam Schefter, who confirmed that Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie received approval from the NFL for the sale of 8% of the team to two family investors for a total valuation of $8.3 billion. Now, we've known this sale was coming for months, but what we didn't know was maybe this cash liquidation by Lurie is actually for a rumored new stadium or upgrades to the link that would include a retractable roof so Philly could officially host things like Super Bowls, Final Fours, and other major sporting events outside the Eagles. Now again, this is a rumor, no official reporting on this. It's not like the Eagles have announced, we're going to use part of the $8.3 billion we just liquidated to go ahead and build a new stadium or upgrade the link, but it honestly makes a ton of sense. The link is technically pretty old. It's over 21 years old, opened in 2003, and while I personally think it's one of the best NFL stadiums I've been to, it is not covered, which is a new push by NFL teams to not only reduce against cold weather situations, but obviously to entice Super Bowl locations. And right now, league-wide, there are only 10 NFL stadiums that either are completely covered, aka a dome, or have some form of a retractable roof. And the four most recently built stadiums, including Atlanta, Minnesota, SoFi Stadium, all have some form of either fully retractable or fully closed roofs, which means they get to host major events, yes, like a Super Bowl. And if the rumors are true, I think that's what Lurie is trying to do, get a Super Bowl or potentially a Final Four to Philadelphia. My biggest question, though, is would they completely renovate the link or replace it altogether? If they replace it, where's the new stadium going? Lots of bigger questions for people who actually have architectural degrees. I don't. Still, though, very interesting. I want your thoughts on potentially adding a roof or a retractable roof or changing the Eagles Stadium in general. Let me know down below. Now, when it comes to the actual game this weekend versus the Steelers at the current Lincoln Financial Field, everyone keeps talking about A.J. Brown this and Russell Wilson that, but having the focus on the Eagles passing game this week has completely taken the focus off the Birds' number one ranked rushing attack, which has gotten Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin a little upset.
The acquisition of Saquon Barkley has got to be the most significant acquisition in the NFL in 2024. That's what the tape looks like. He's been dominant, eye-opening at times, obviously. Highlight real caliber plays, long runs, touchdowns, etc. It starts there for us. If you don't minimize him in some way, you're not even going to position yourself to have a chance to be successful. And so obviously he's got a lot of our attention at the early stages of the week.
Now, Tomlin is smart, and he's not wrong. Saquon has continued to be the reason Philadelphia is absolutely destroying teams, especially late in games. And if he gets hot yet again this weekend, it'll be the Ravens game all over again, this time with the Steelers. But Thomas, the Steelers have the fifth best run defense in the NFL right now. Maybe they can stop Saquon Barkley, and we got to pass the ball to actually win. Okay, well, the Ravens had the number one run defense a couple of weeks ago, and look what happened. Throwing for 4 touchdowns or not, if Saquon goes for over 100 yards this weekend, Philly will almost for sure get their 10th win in a row. Now, the Birds returned to practice yesterday to get ready for the Steelers, and we got some good injury news as both Reed Blankenship and Britton Covey returned following their absence from the Panthers game last week. I think people forget just how important Blankenship is to this defense. I mean, last week was not the best showing against Carolina. Obviously, they're playing much better, but a full-strength Birds team plus number 32 back there is going to go a long way versus Russell Wilson and potentially the George Pickens-less Steelers at the link on Sunday. Now, in terms of Steelers practice, Pickens, again, did not practice. We're expecting him not to play, although it's still only Thursday. A couple more days to figure that out. But Steelers safety DeShon Elliot, also dealing with a hamstring, did not practice on Wednesday as well. According to reports, Elliot has a better chance to play, but definitely worth keeping an eye on as we move forward closer to Sunday. Now, back inside the locker room, and all eyes have been on the disgruntled receiver who spoke to the media yesterday at his locker room, and wow, doubled down on his disgust of the lack of targets.
You had a tweet that got a lot of attention yesterday. You care to expand on your feelings or what you wanted to convey with that?
I mean, you read what you read. A little frustrated for sure.
Kyle and Brock said that you guys talk just about daily. Is getting touches and things like that something that's discussed during those kinds of conversations?
100%, yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry. That was 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel doing his best actual dramatic wide receiver impression, whereas Philadelphia's receiver A.J. Brown, he held probably the largest locker room press conference scrum I've ever seen in Eagles history and gave maybe the best answer possible to the whole passing game drama that he himself created on Sunday.
I think that's what everybody, I think that's what the world did. You know, they perceived what I said about passing and felt like it was an attack on Jalen, and I think that's what he did. You know, me and Jalen relationship is personal, so I mean, So, yeah, I can see that.
How would you characterize your relationship with Jalen right now?
Me and his relationship are good, so.
Does any of this impact football, AJ?
Sorry to say that.
Does any of this impact football?
Not at all, man. We're trying to go out here and do our job each and every Sunday. It's no personal or business. Like I said, BG is just speaking, and he just kept speaking, and it's whatever.
And not to be outdone, in a way only Jalen Hurts could do, he had an excellent response as well when asked about the whole situation.
I think that's where everyone's focus is at heart, and trying to do what's best for the team. And ultimately, everyone cares about the team's success. And so, whenever something happens, whatever it is, I look at myself first, because everything starts and ends with me. And I take great pride in what I do. I take great pride in the responsibilities that I have when I am to the city and to this team. And I challenge myself on that. I'm my best when I'm my biggest critic, and I have to continue to challenge myself on being critical on some things so I can be better. At the end of the day, when did winning not become the main thing? And so just want to play at a high level. We all want to play at a high level. But we want to win.
Personally, I don't like to admit and rub it in people's faces when I was right, but I said this was probably much to do about nothing, and sure enough, that's exactly what we got yesterday. Even if they're lying, even if AJ and Jalen personally hate each other, it does not matter. All that matters is winning on Sunday, and the Birds did a great job deflecting away from the drama and focusing themselves back on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Plus, if you're still really concerned, maybe a 2023 type collapse is happening, just let Jason Kelce calm your fears, which he did pretty well on WIP earlier this morning.
I guess, are they going to be all right? I think they're already all right. They're 9 games in a row. They're, second in the NFC with a real chance, to clinch the NFC. I think last year there was a lot of reasons why last year, collapsed. And I just don't think that we're even in a comparable situation. Last year we had the 32nd ranked defense, I think, in the NFL.
Big difference, man.
I mean, offensively we were struggling too, but I think when, it was really a compound of so many things going wrong. We tried to switch coordinators halfway through a season. Yeah. It just feels like, both the offense has an identity, at least right now. It never really felt like we had that last year. We were kind of always trying to figure that out. Defensively, they're playing lights out. I mean, they've really turned a corner, really ever since that Tampa game earlier in the year. Sure. And Cooper DeShon, there's a lot of young guys. Guantanamo Bay, they're really playing at a high level. So to me, it's not even comparable. I think that this team has proven that they're a legitimate contender.
Honestly, this sort of drama, it kind of comes with having a number one wide receiver. Almost every single team that has a true top 5 wide receiver gets some sort of complaint at some point during the year, especially if they're not getting enough targets. The good news is they've handled it. They're going to move on, and sure, they're definitely going to try to fix the passing game. I'm sure they're going to try to get it going this weekend, but even A.J. Brown pointed out himself yesterday, running the football is the reason they're winning.
Obviously, it's not running the ball. He's about to win MVP. Like, literally. So what other thing we do on offense? We have to pass the ball. And that can go into protection. That go picking up a block. That go to us getting open quicker, being on the same page, Jalen reads, or whatever the case may be. It's a collect group of things, and I think they just kind of just spent it that way, and and I said that for a reason. Honestly, because we went to the Super Bowl and lost. We tried again next year. It was 10-10 and whatever our record is, and it was a landslide. And here we go again. And it's something that we can correct right now while we have the opportunity. And that's why I was bringing the awareness of bringing it to everybody's attention. Like, it's something we can focus on. Like, we know we can run the ball. Saquon is doing a great job. Like, we're not against running the ball. We love Saquon. Ask him what I tell him at the end of the game. End the game. Like, do your job. End the game. Like, so this is fine. I'm okay with being whatever bad guy I have to be for the city, the town, whatever the case may be, for my team to holding everybody accountable, be accountable, and to get better. So if I'm that guy, I would be that guy gladly. So.
Still, you can't help but notice it was a similar opponent at the link this time 2 years ago, following kind of a similar outburst from AJ that resulted in the Birds wide receiver's best game overall in Philly, where he clowned the Steelers secondary for 156 yards and 3 total touchdowns. Something Brian Baldinger detailed pretty well on his daily X-Film breakdowns this morning.
With the winds of controversy swirling this week between a receiver and the quarterback in Philly, maybe the Eagles and the Steelers should take a look at what A.J. Brown did against the Steelers just 2 years ago, week 8. Like, there's Minka Fitzpatrick coming over from the free safety position, and Jalen just put it up and let his star receiver jump right in front of the all-pro safety right there. That was the first touchdown of the game, opening drive of the game. Minka can't believe it. They came back the next drive, and it was more of the same. Like, Jalen just let it fly. AJ just winning his one-on-one battles. Contested passes right here, over the outside shoulder, perfectly thrown. That was the second touchdown. They scored the third touchdown of the game in the first 24 minutes right here on the old college pump and dump. Like, Jalen sees it. He sees the corner 10 yards off AJ. He gives a signal right there. Boston Scott was the running back at the time. And it's just this, like, pump it right there and then just dump it. They scored 3 touchdowns, AJ, against the Steelers right here. And they couldn't do anything to stop it. And maybe there'd be a good formula right here this weekend against the Steelers. Pump. And then just Jalen, like, put it up, let your star receiver go get it. Maybe that would end some of the controversy. I know it would make that man happy, that's for sure. And I'm sure the Steelers, wouldn't love it either. But anyways, Sunday afternoon, Steelers and Eagles. Steelers haven't won in Philly since 1965. 0-10 in their last 10 trips here.
Personally, I'm all for that. Give A.J. Brown as many passes as possible, but still keep running the football. Have a nice balance, the way you can beat a good Steelers defense, as Jordan Mailata pointed out yesterday.
Our offense is great. We play complementary football, and that's, when the pass game isn't there, the run game is. Now we got to work on the pass game, and we got to do our job up front. And I said this on the WIP call yesterday. A couple plays where, I ran the wrong play, and those were shots to AJ. But it's such a miscommunication thing, when people who don't understand the game, not to put it like that, but that's just truth. When you see somebody say something like that, it's kind of like a glass half full type of thing.
One more thing, though, on this whole A.J. Brown drama that I can't help but laugh at. I love tweets like this one from Bomani Jones, who said, "Every team Jalen Hurts has played for since he left Channelview has ultimately been limited by passing," which people on Twitter ran with, except for the fact that didn't A.J. Brown just last year break Calvin Johnson's record of 125-plus yards in a game for 6 games in a row, and didn't Smitty just break the Eagles' single-season catch record as well? Brown right now, despite missing 3 games, is still on pace for 1,000 yards receiving, and would projected to have 1,400 yards receiving with Saquon still on the team if number 11 had played all 17 games. Really, it's just silly stuff. Now this weekend, if you don't have plans on Saturday, quick shout out to the Eagles Autism Foundation for letting me in on the 12 Bars of Christmas charity event happening at Xfinity Live on Saturday. I'll put the sign up in the description, but if you have nothing to do on Saturday and want to go hang out at Xfinity, support a charity, get some free swag, this is a great overall foundation to join. And we got plenty more stuff happening the next couple of days and weeks. Interested to see how the Friday injury report comes out. I'll cover that extensively in my Saturday show. We're also getting very close. We're about 500 subscribers away from 70K and giving out the signed Cooper DeShon helmet. So hit that sub button, drop a like down below, and let me know your guys' thoughts on today's show. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.